Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of T-Dog RC. I'm Tim, and in this video we are going to be having a look at this, which is a brand new beautiful OS 65AS Max engine, and I've bought this for my Ultrastick 10cc Hangar 9 model. So for those who've been following along with my channel, you'll see that I put together a Hangar 9 Ultrastick 10cc version, and I decided to put in that a second-hand engine that I bought off eBay, and I actually got the engine for like $25, £25. It was really cheap. It was an ASP engine. This is in really good condition, and I've added a few components to it, some new seals and gaskets and bits and bobs like that. But I've had problems getting it to run quite as sweet as I wanted it to run. And I actually did feel like it was a little bit underpowered as well. And then quite rightly, on the maiden video and also the video just after the maiden, quite a few people pointed out on the comments that they felt it was a bit of a shame that I'd spent quite a lot of money on the Ultrastick. It's not a cheap model, and it's a very nice model and a real nice flyer. I spent quite a lot of money on that, but then put basically a cheap engine in, and that's fair comment. I did do that, and after I was struggling to sort of get it running like I wanted to, I decided, yeah, do you know what, you guys are right, so I've bought this beauty. So let's get this on the bench. Let's see what we've got in the box. It's many years since I've bought a brand new two-stroke engine, and certainly a very long time since I bought a brand new OS engine. I was probably 10 years old, if that, when I bought probably was about 10 years old when I got my first brand new OS engine, so a very long time ago. Yeah, so let's have a look what we've got in the box. Let's just appreciate the beauty of this thing, and then let's have a look at getting it installed in the Ultrastick. Okay, so just following on from that intro, that was actually quite a while ago I did that. I think it was about 2 or possibly even 3 months ago, and I've been doing some other stuff since then, such as the Angel Wings flying wing, and then it's been Christmas, and this is the first video of 2024. So first thing to say is Happy New Year, and best wishes to everyone for 2024. To everyone who's watching, to all my subscribers, hope it's going to be a good year for you. Yeah, so following on from that intro, Ultrastick 10cc, nice plane. I'd put this cheap eBay engine on, which then I had subsequently a few problems getting it to run smoothly. Lots of people on the comments were saying, why did you put a second-hand cheap engine on a nice plane like that, which is fair game. And a few comments, people saying you need to put an OS 65 on it. It's a perfect engine. So I decided that they were right and it was a fair point, and so I went and bought a nice brand spanking new OS engine. So first part of this video is going to be, let's get this out of the box. Let's have a look what we've got inside here, and then once we've had a look at this, we'll get on to see how we can get this installed onto the Ultrastick. So we've got to take the old one off. I'm hoping that it will be a case of just putting it on the engine mount and the holes line up, but I think that's probably wishful thinking, but we'll see. You never know. So this is the first, well, in fact, the only brand new OS engine I've ever had was the very first engine that I ever bought, or actually my dad bought, was an OS 15 Max, and that was probably back in 1990. So that was a long time ago. So yeah, looking forward to having a look what we've got in here. So let's get this open. First thing is we've got a nice big silencer. Fairly standard stuff there, but nice and shiny and new, and nicely finished there as well on the section that joins onto the engine. Also interesting to see that it's got the rubber seal there as well, because I think most of the engines I've got don't have a seal there. It's just metal to metal, so that's good. Then we've got some instructions. So the key thing here is obviously I've got to run this in because it's brand spanking new. I probably won't film running it in because it's not going to be the most exciting, but that is, I'm going to get it mounted on the plane first, and then I'm going to run it in the garden a couple of times, and then take it down the field and run it in there as well before I fly it, because I don't want to do it too many times in the garden in case I start annoying the neighbours. And of course we've got some nice stickers, so probably will be putting these on the Ultra Stick. And then finally we have this beauty. So let's get everything out, see what we've got. So we've got a glow plug in there, which is good. I'm not sure what that is. It's an OS number 8, which I think is the pretty standard OS plug. They're normally the ones I get, so that's good that we've got one of those. And we've got silencer mounting bolts, and I'm not quite sure what that's going to be, unless that's something to do with the throttle, or maybe for cleaning it. What does it say? Needle valve extension cable. Right, okay, so yeah, that's just if you need to extend the needle valve, which I won't need to do because I've not even got a cow. So it's just something super nice about a brand new engine. Just really is a nice thing. And OS engines, they're just so well finished. You know, look at that detail in there in the back of the crankcase, and just the casting's really nicely finished. Everything's really crisp and clean. That's the thing with some of the you know, some of the Chinese sort of copies. They're decent engines. I've got a lot of time for them. You know, ASP, SC, I like those sorts of things. But you can just tell the difference on like the casting and stuff like that. These just seem just that little bit extra. This won't currently turn over. Obviously it's extremely tight, needs running in. I need to just get the prop on it. But yeah, there we are. You can see it has got some obviously the assembly lube in there and all that sort of stuff. But definitely need to get the prop on just to get that turned over. So I'll do that before I put the plug in. Yeah, so there it is. What a nice thing. So that's 65, so it's just over 10 cc, and apparently these things have got absolutely bags of power. And the recommended prop was one of these. So this is a 13x6 prop, so it's a pretty big prop. Not too big a pitch, so hopefully it will slow it down quite nicely. But it's certainly quite wide. So yeah, I was hoping to get an APC, but they didn't have any in stock, so I've gone with the Master Air Screw ones, which I tend to like as well. Yeah, so all good. Right, anyway, that's enough of the shiny stuff. Let's get the model on the bench. I'll get the old engine off. I've got another plan for that engine. It's not going to be put on the shelf, or you know, I'm not going to sell it or anything. I've got another plane lined up for that, and hopefully I'll be able to get it tuned up enough, you know, to get it flying okay. This other plane's not anywhere. It's just a little hand launch sort of Delta thing. Should actually work a treat on that. It's meant for a 40, and so the 52 should actually be more than powerful enough for that. So that's my plan for that one. So yeah, I'm going to get that off, and then we'll see how this one fits on. Okay, so I've managed to get it on. One of the things I was quite worried about was whether the mounts would be way too narrow, because the one thing I can't really do is make this any wider. I suppose the only way I could do it is by taking one of these mounts off and making the hole wider, but I don't really like the idea of doing that. So it's gone in quite well there. It's a little bit tight. It's kind of pushing the mount out a little bit. But the main issue I've got is the holes typically aren't in the right place, and they're too close. So where the engine needs to be positioned, it's just too close to the existing holes. And if I drill through, it's just going to make one big hole, you know, and that's going to be no good, because obviously, even though tighten it up. I just don't like the idea of having a big hole there that could potentially, with the vibration, could wear through or something like that. So I think what I'm going to do is, I'm pretty sure you can get the replacement engine mounts, and they're not too much money. So I'm going to just have a quick look online and see if we can get a replacement engine mount. And then what I'll probably do then is obviously take this off, but before I put the new one on, I'll just shave a little bit of the material off one side. Only needs to be like 1 millimetre or something like that, just with my Dremel, just to make it a bit of a nicer fit and stop the mount from sort of being bowed out like that. That should be fine, because the mount's actually really thick, so it won't be a problem at all, just taking a tiny little bit of material off the inside. So yeah, I'm going to get that ordered, and then obviously that's going to take a few days, but it will only be a few seconds for you guys when I've got the new mount on. But once I've got that mount on, it should be dead quick then, really. Just, you know, mark out the new holes. I just probably should check the CG again, because this is probably slightly heavier, I would think, than the 52. So it might just need to go a touch further back, but that's fine, because I've got plenty of movement on this mount anyway if it did need to go back a little bit further. So yeah, I'll get that sorted now, and next clip you'll see I'll hopefully have a brand new mount on here. Okay, so it is indeed a couple of days later, and I've got myself a brand new engine mount. So I ended up getting this from eBay, actually. It's a proper Hangar 9 engine mount. It says it's for the Meridian 10cc, but it's the same one for the Ultra Stick. So yeah, some of the UK model stores could get them. They were all on like a special order, but they didn't have any in stock, whereas I found this shop on eBay that had got a few in stock. So it costs a little bit more money, but obviously I didn't really want to wait sort of 2 or 3 weeks for the normal guys to order them in. So we've got that, so that's good. It does come with the bolts and captive nuts, but I won't be using those because I'll just use the ones I've already got. And in other news, I have ran my, you can't quite see it there, can you? So I've started this beast up. So I got it on my engine mount stand. So this is what I'm talking about, my test stand. So I got it hooked up to this, filled the tank up. This is a big sort of running in tank, but I filled this up about halfway. And the manual says to run it in, you obviously turn the needle valve out so it's fairly rich. So I started it on three turns, which is usually enough to get it started in my experience, with a glow plug on. But usually with three turns of the needle valve, when you take the glow plug off, it normally cuts out because it's too rich. But I want to start it like that. It started really easy. I did put the nose cone on and use my electric starter, but literally, you know, got it primed, couple of blitz of the starter, and it was off. Instantly into idle, and then sure enough, went to take the glow plug, and it went to cut out. So I wound it in probably about 2.5 turns, and then once I'd done that, I was able to take the glow plug driver off, and it carried on running. And then basically what it says in the instructions to break it in is to, once it's sort of warmed up, to actually open it up full throttle, run it for a minute at full throttle on a rich mixture setting, and then wind the needle valve in till it starts to become leaner, and you get that, you know, the nice sort of smooth noise, and run it like that for 10 seconds, and then wind the needle valve back out. So it's kind of running really rich and rough again. Keep it running like that for another minute, and then let it go back to idle for a little bit. Open it back up, another minute, wind it back in, 10 seconds, and just basically keep doing that. And I have to say, I mean, obviously it's only on the bench, not got it on the plane yet, but it was faultless. And it goes to show that, you know, sometimes you do get what you pay for. Straight out the blocks, started it up, like I said. It was so responsive to the needle valve. It was just incredible. It didn't even once sound like it was going to cut out or coughed and spluttered. The throttle was responsive, just incredible. I've never, well, it's a long time since I've ran an engine like that smoothly. Just unbelievable. So, and you know, that's the first time I'd started it, and once I'd initially started it and just sorted out the mixture, so the glow plug, I didn't need to keep the glow plug driver on, it didn't stop. Like I did this whole running in procedure on half a tank of what is quite a big tank of fuel, probably at least 6 or 7 minutes running, and it was faultless. It didn't cut out, didn't stutter, nothing, and just, you know, as I say, making it lean, richening it off, make it lean, richening it off, amazing. So I need to run another half a tank through on the bench kind of thing. What I'm actually going to do is put this in the plane and then take it down the flying field and do that procedure again while it's down the flying field, because obviously it's quite noisy at home. And then once I've done that, then it does say you can start to fly it, but you need to just leave it richened off, so you're not running it lean, and then do 3 or 4 flights like that, flying it around fairly rich. And then once I've done that, it should be pretty much run in. So really looking forward to getting this on the engine, and hopefully you know, it's going to run an absolute treat. So what I'm going to do, just following on from that last clip, is I'm just going to take the old mount off, put this one on. Should obviously just be a straight swap, and then I just need to figure out obviously where I'm going to put the engine, but I'll show you that anyway when I go to drill it back out. But I just need to just take a little bit off the insides of these, just to make it a bit of a nicer fit. So I'm going to get that done, and then we'll take a look. Okay, so got the new mount on, just shaved a fraction off the inside, and that's fitting in there really nice and snug now. I've also just had this outside with the wings on to check the CG, and it's absolutely spot on again where I've got it. And I just rested the silencer here and just put the prop on there as well, just to make it as accurate as I can. It's more or less neutral. It's ever so slightly nose heavy, but then I have got the spinner to go on, and of course it will have some fuel in it. So I think it's perfect basically. So all I've got to do now is just mark out the holes, and I've shown you this before, but just thought I'd show you again. So I've got this tool here, which is specially designed for marking out the engine holes, and there's a little drill bit inside this cone. It's like a self-centering thing. So the idea is you put that in there and then push down and turn, and it should put you a nice mark in the centre. And then what I do is I just mark it. It puts like a little dent in, and then I just get a Sharpie just to properly mark it out. So we'll do that side as well. Okay, so that should have that nicely marked. I'll get the other two done, and then I can take the engine off, drill the holes out, get it mounted back on, and then I've just got to set the throttle linkage back up, and we should be good to go. Okay, well, we are there. It's all installed, looking good. Gone on really nice, fitted in the mount perfect. Obviously I've got the silencer on, got the pipes hooked up. It's all obviously very easy to work on because there's no cowl or anything like that. I've also got the throttle linkage hooked up, so that's all working nicely. Just got to set it up on the radio, but this is probably going to be the first model I actually set up on my new FreeSky X20 Pro. Currently it's on the Radio Master, so I've got to swap that over, so I'm going to have to fiddle around with the throttle anyway. But looking really nice, really pleased with the way it's gone on. Now, yes, I did have to buy a new mount, but of course that just went straight into the holes that were there. And then when you saw me do that centre punch thing for the engine mount bolts, it was absolutely spot on, right in the middle of the holes, straight through, lock nuts on the bottom, all good to go. So that is done. I am really looking forward now to getting this back down the field, getting it running, and making those first flights, and hopefully it should be a lot of fun, and hopefully I won't have any issues with the engine cutting out every time I open the throttle like I did on the old one. And also have a lot more performance with this as well, because it's swinging a much bigger prop. So that should be a lot of fun as well. So yeah, that's that one done. Fairly quick video, I think. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed following along. If you're into Balsa, Nitro, a little bit of FPV as well that I do on the channel. Next video coming up is going to be a new FPV project I'm doing. Then hit the subscribe button, follow along. Love to have you on board as a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything. If you've enjoyed watching the video, then hit the like button and give me a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. And if you've got any comments, just stick them in the comments box and I'll always get back to you. And for all those people who've subscribed to the channel already, I really appreciate your support, and it's great to have you as part of the crew. And I'll see you soon for the next one.